when you're starting to build your list, the most logical place to start is with creating a list. So, you need to log into your Autoresponder account. I'm logged into my Aweber account, and in order to get started creating your first list, you need to go up and click on Manage Lists. And when you do that, very large and prominent up on top, you'll see Create a List. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and click on that link, and it's going to pretty much do the same for you. It's going to put your name in, and to be quite honest, there's absolutely nothing wrong with leaving it that way. If you're branding yourself, that's absolutely the way to go. If you have a company that you've created, then you're going to want to use your company name. So in this instance, this is a demonstration here. I'm going to simply keep things as it is right now, and then we'll just add a email address here, or not an email address, a web address for one of my sites. Site name. Having trouble with that one, huh? Let's try this. Okay, now they're happy. So here we go. We're going to use a subdomain or a directory. You want to just go with the domain, and then it's of course going to ask you to add the address, and you need to select that. If you want to use a different address, you can enter that there, and then here. This is always going to populate with whatever your default sender email is that you entered when you set up your account. So what you're going to do is, if that of course is the email address that you want to create your list and use as a sender email, then just go ahead and leave that as be. In this instance, I have no reason to change anything. Its sender name is consistent with the business name, and then the email address here, I'm not going to change this simply for the matter that this is just a demo. I don't have a particular purpose of putting up a squeeze page. Just going to show you how everything's going. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Next Step. Now, at this point, you need to name your list. Okay. And here you're going to describe this. Click on Next Step, and then at this point you really don't have any choice. You can edit the portion up above, and you can edit the bottom of this, but we're going to show you a little bit later about using sorry, making sure we don't get any more noises. We're going to talk a little bit later about the double opt-in, single opt-in. So at this point, I'm just going to leave everything as is. You don't really have a choice anyway. You can, as I said, you can edit these, but it's going to make you approve the message to create the list. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now, as you can see, that's the active list that I'm working on. So at this point, I can go ahead and create a sign-up form if I want to, but there's something I want to do before I do that. And for that, I need to go to List Settings, and whichever list that you're in on the top here, you can make your selection, and whichever one you're in, when you hit List Options here and Settings, I'm going to take you to the settings for that list. Now, in this instance, I'm not going to change anything up here. This is not the part we're looking at in the basic settings. You do have the ability within this if you want. I'm not going to do that in this instance. But you can add an email signature and everything for personalizing it. You can connect with your Twitter account, your Facebook account. If you want to have them broadcasts, you have archive settings for that. And then you can preview the unsubscribe page there. You have the ability here to create global text snippets and save them for using within this list. And to do that, you basically just give it a name. And then simply write in some text that you want to be able to pull up and use. You can use this, for instance, for like your sign-off signature. You can actually, which you can add that up above, but you can use it for like if you have a disclaimer in your email, which you should have, about the common sense business about the fact that if somebody clicks on your link, it may be an affiliate link and all that. Your disclaimer, legal disclaimer, you can simply add something like that there. You can have, if you have a particular sign off or something like that that you use, anything that you regularly want to use, you can add to this, and then just simply when you're creating emails, your snippets will appear so that you can just click on whichever one you happen to need. And then this is the one we're actually looking for in this instance. Now, talking about your confirmation, you can request approval for a custom subject line, but I'm going to suggest that you do not require a confirmed opt-in, and the reason for that is twofold. Number one, whenever you're using a confirmed opt-in and the person has to click on a link in a confirmation email, they only go onto your list once they have confirmed. And that can be a bit of a problem because you have a certain percentage of people that never click on the confirmation link. So what they do is sit there in your autoresponder account eating up space, and eventually you're getting charged for those people on a number of subscriber basis. You know, it's bad in that sense. Another problem is that people prefer one-step opt-ins. It raises your conversion rates considerably. And in order to set that up, all you need to do is go down here and click on this, and you'll have a pop-up and asking you, are you sure you want to disable confirm pop-up for web form submissions? And you're going to say yes. It's going to go ahead and turn that off, and then you can basically set up your confirmation page or success page here for a confirmed email, but not necessary. So at this point, all we need to do, we've got confirmed opt-in turned off. So we'll go ahead and click Save Settings. And that is going to take us through creating our first list. We have now created a new list.